Welcome, everyone. Oh, wait, the microphone. It's here. Yes, welcome, everyone. We're so excited to be here. My name is Polina, and this is my amazing mom, Dr. Lola Gershfeld. We're
Hi,
here
everyone.
together because this weekend is the ATD Conference, and we are here at the ATD Conference, and we're bringing something really special to you. We have two speaking engagements at the ATD Conference, and since for those of you who are watching, if you aren't here with us and can't make it to the speaking engagements, we are going to give you a short daily preview of the things that we're going to be talking about. So, this is the Leader in You podcast, and we are doing podcasts every single day for the next 4 days on how to create this connected culture and environment that really what you were talking about earlier was can't live without. And it's
Exactly.
bad.
And it's bad.
It's very bad when
It's
you
bad.
are
And
not connected.
no, just think about what are you experiencing in the workplace when you have conflict or disengaged employees? I mean, just think about it.
What
It
are you
is,
experiencing?
you feel exhausted, you feel stuck,
Depressed.
you feel
You don't want
depressed,
to go to work.
you feel demotivated, and you definitely don't know how to get your people engaged.
Well, they feel stuck. They
Yeah.
don't know the tools. They don't think they have it. They don't think there is a process. But this is what's amazing. We have a process that actually works. And tomorrow we're speaking.
Yes, we're speaking to, as you were talking, Palina, yeah, it reminded me of a webinar I did. And one of the slides I said, you don't have to be stuck in these continuous negative cycles. And a person emailed me and she said, I never thought of it. I thought this is how it is. This is how it is at work.
Yeah.
And now when you said you don't have to be stuck, it gave me hope. It's like, oh my gosh, is it possible? Is it really possible that you can actually learn how to get out of these negative patterns? And the answer is absolutely
It's
yes.
not only possible, it is duplicatable. It is a process that works 95% of the time, by the way, if you didn't know. And so tomorrow we're going to be speaking on what are we speaking about
We're
tomorrow?
speaking at the 6 steps on the process that actually works to resolve your conflicts at work.
So we're going to go over those 6 steps here right now for you. So if you don't yet have our EMC book, and Dr. Lola just came out with her brand new book, Evolve, get yourself a pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes. All right, let's go over that first step.
Well, the first step is number one is recognizing what triggered the disconnect in the first. I mean, the people get into conflict because they get triggered and then they don't know how to respond to the trigger. So what they do is they react to the trigger, and they react mostly with their protective behaviors. What does that mean? Their protective behaviors meaning that they blame, they judge, they criticize, or they shut down, which often is the case in the workplace. They shut down, they avoid, they disengage.
Yeah.
I remember working with this particular team, and the CEO says, we don't have any conflicts, except these two people come to the meeting and they don't talk.
Yes.
Well, that is a conflict.
Yeah. So a lot of times that's what we see is that people just are not aware that there's conflicts that are actually taking place in the workplace. So the very first step is
To identify the trigger.
Step number two is
Identify your sensitivities, is what we call raw spots. And we have 16 raw spots identified, and throughout our research, we have put together a tool called the list of raw spots and emotions. So on the list of raw spots, you have these 16 raw spots.
And these raw spots, you should just print the raw spots or get the tool guide that has the practice journal that has all the raw spots listed, laminate it, put it up so you can see them, memorize them. There's raw spots are like the prior to actually responding to a trigger that occurs, we get hit. It's almost like if you had an injury and you hurt yourself in that same injury, and then the pain that comes from that injury comes up in that moment. So those are what we like to call the sensitivities or raw spots. So for one example, be communicating your needs and getting ignored. If you're sending an email to a coworker and they're not responding, there you go. That's communicating your needs and getting ignored. And what is step number
Exactly.
3?
Well, I just want to say about the raw spots. When you do this process, you actually learn about your raw spots.
Yes.
And it becomes very empowering to you.
So
It's like, oh my gosh, I can actually recognize what's happening to me
Yes.
when I get disconnected. So the third step is to clarify emotions. Emotions is a big important part in identifying and repairing the connection. So emotions, we have 3 levels of emotions when we do. And what we want to do is we want to clarify and organize our emotions, because as we organize our emotions, we become less overwhelmed. And what happens to us?
Actually, the intensity of emotion, when we don't speak it out loud, it has holds so much weight and it decreases by 70%. That intensity of the emotion decreases by 70% when you actually are able to say it out loud. So oftentimes when someone expresses their emotion, we think we need to fix something or we need to do something right away. It's actually the process of someone expressing their emotion and just saying it out loud and putting light to it that makes this step so significant.
You know, you reminded me, you're so true. It's so true. You remind me of a situation. I used to work with this particular board, and there was a man who was a very military man, and he really like would get very angry all the time, like very quick. And as I worked with him and the board, he started to articulate what was happening to him. So they invited me to dinner one time after a board meeting, and we sit in a board meeting, and he suddenly got very quickly angry, and then and he says, "I'm angry." But as soon as he said, "I'm angry," he became calm and relaxed.
We
So
see it
that's true.
all the time. We
Yes,
see it
that's
all
it's
the
very
time.
it's very healing for us to express what's happening for us emotionally. And what we want to do is when we share what's happening with us, we want to go a little deeper. We don't want to just say, "Oh, I'm frustrated," or "I'm irritated." We want to go a little deeper and say, "I'm hurt," or "I feel unimportant in that moment," or "I feel sad." These are softer and primary emotions, which helps us to become more clear, and it actually pulls people closer when we share our vulnerability.
So you can get all of this information in the books that Dr. Lola has, and it's all available for you through the different process and the tools. And of course, as always, we have the training program as well for those of you who want to be proficient in this communication skill to create that emotionally connected culture in the workplace. All right, let's move on to step number 4. We don't want to give them all the secrets. Okay.
Yes.
Just want to touch the
Step
surface so
number
they get
4.
excited.
Yes, step number 4 is really identifying your automatic thoughts, because this is what happens to us naturally. We have like an instinct. When I get triggered, oh my gosh, it hurts. I want to get away. So that's the automatic thoughts. Oh, I'm going to stop you. Oh, how dare you say these things, right? So all of these are automatic thoughts actually help lead us to negative cycles.
So this is a really good question to ask yourself. What happens to you? You can think about this while you're watching this video or listening to this podcast. What happens to you when you get upset, when you get triggered? What do you do in your head? What are your thoughts? I have to stop you. I have to get away. Well,
I don't need
I
this
don't need this
anymore.
anymore. I don't need you anymore.
I give up.
Yes. So that's good to just identify. That is the first step, is to just understand what are those automatic thoughts that come up, because those are the thoughts that then motivate step number 5.
Number 5, which is protective behaviors. We behave to protect ourselves when we get disconnected. But protect ourselves is actually protecting our relationship, because we long for connection. Yeah. And when we feel disconnected, we want to connect again, right? So we have different ways to respond. So we either respond by pursuing the connection, or we respond by preserving the connection, which is withdraw and disengage and avoid. So we want to understand the urge that we have internally when we get this kind of, what is it that we want to, what is the urge to do something, right? And then we actually go for that behavior. So emotions move us to behavior. And through automatic thoughts and protective behavior, we recognize what we do in creating more negative and cycle and getting more disconnected.
It's amazing. It's so amazing. And you guys, oh, hold on. Hold on, pause. Okay. Okay, so that is step number 5.
Yes.
And just to recap, there's 6 steps. We're coming up to the last step on how to work through difficult conversations, conflicts with your team, process your emotions, understand what's going on with you so you can create a connected culture in the workplace.
Yes. Yeah. So step number 6, which is
Step number 6.
really the key, is identifying the need to feel safe and connected. And what does that mean to identify the need? In the moment of disconnection, we get a message. We get a certain message that we perceive. And often that message is a message of rejection, not value, not that like the other person doesn't care about us. We need that message to be corrected. And so in the step 6, when we identify the need, what we need to feel safe and connected, it is present right now and right here, right now. When I'm talking to you and I'm sharing my experience with you, I need to know that you care about me.
Oh,
I
care about you.
I need to know that you value me.
We care about you and we value you.
I need to know that I matter.
Oh, even hearing this can be so uncomfortable. It's very, very, very different and very new perspective in the workplace, especially because people are always like, leave the emotions out. And we talked about this in our last podcast, like leave the baggage and emotions at the door. No, this is the complete opposite of how we function as human beings and how we can actually thrive. So those are your 6 steps to creating a connected culture. We're actually doing a really fun skit tomorrow, which I'm so excited about. And we're going to be talking at the conference in detail about all of these 6 steps. So, of course, we're going to record it and we'll be posting it here on our YouTube channel. And if you're listening to our podcast, make sure you go to YouTube to subscribe. And also, if you are on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, we're going to be posting videos all weekend long telling you all the things that are happening over the weekend. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Paulina. This was so fun.
And this is Paulina and Dr. Lola with the Leader in You podcast. We'll see you tomorrow.
Brought to you by EMC Leaders.
Bye.
Bye.